Well, I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see.
It looks something like this.
So, welcome to the review of the Panasonic FZ2000. Now, what I like about this camera, it's got neutral density filters. It's one of the few photographic cameras that comes with ND built in. Absolutely fantastic. From a quarter to a 16th to a 64th and auto. I never use auto, but a 64th is very useful in sunny days like today. Absolutely brilliant. The other thing it's now got is the card slots in at the side here, which is the way it should be, and underneath you can access the battery a lot easier because I moved it away from the tripod socket, which is fantastic. The other thing that I think is brilliant is I've now brought a headphone socket on board, which is what you would expect from a camera if you want to produce sound. As you can see, the record formats have changed from the FZ1000. When you get to the FZ2000 you get more choices. Full HD and the FZ1000 only went up to 28 megabytes per second, while in the FZ2000 you get full HD at 200 megabytes per second, all intra. Now what we're going to do is go around to Arran and get some lovely shots. I've actually taken some shots from the boat itself on arrival, but this afternoon we're going to get some nice shots of Arran itself, which will be fantastic. That's a fantastic wide shot, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Now once again, the way this camera scores is the fact you've got the ND filters. Without that, your outdoor shots was absolutely rubbish. And the other thing you've got to bear in mind is the ND filters on board make a heck of a difference, because it means you're not having to put something in the front of your lens here which could cause dust. It looks dreadful once you get to about F11. So tell me, Robin, what's actually happening here today?
Today we're doing a hog roast. We're serving it with kimchi, which we've made ourselves, and that's got radish, Chinese leaves. We collected some local ingredients to put in that one as well. There's some sea radish and pepper dulse as well.
So what are the buns? They're quite interesting.
They buns are made by George at Blackwater Bakery. They're brioche buns. Poor George has went through a kind of difficult time just now with the hot weather. The bread is rising up there and he can't get into the oven quick enough. But he managed to get my brioche in, so they're alright.
So this is kind of what you would term as a wee shallow depth of field shot, where you've got the, I don't quite know what the plant is, but you've got the kind of lovely yellow plant in the foreground, hopefully. If it's not blowing about too much. This is F4 and I've just bumped in a 16 ND, which gives me a relatively decent shallow depth of field. So that's the review of the Panasonic FZ2000. I love the new features like 3 ND filters from 1/4, 1/16 and 1/64. Please note the ND auto mode does not function when recording video. The addition of the ND filters is a major bonus for the FZ2000 for daylight filming and shallow depth of field work, especially at a shutter speed of a 50th. The new thermal on top of the camera makes choosing manual aperture and shutter speed a breeze compared to the FZ1000. Finally, for recording a sound, we have a headphone input. Accessing the SDXC cards is now a lot easier, moving the card slot from the battery compartment to the side of the camera. You can now add a quick release camera plate while accessing the battery compartment. The 5-axis image stabilization is also very useful in standalone interviews. Anything I would like to see in the FZ3000: dual card slots, 4K 50p and a high quality viewfinder. This is a solid HD video camera for shooting run and gun footage as well as 4K 25p. So much so, it was my first choice of camera to use at the BBC set River City. I chose the FZ2000 before my GH5 because of the built-in ND filters, as it was a sunny day. We also use the FZ2000 as our overhead camera on one roving cook because it was very useful to Wi-Fi filming and the ability to change shots remotely via the iPad.